Hi, welcome to Story Time with Gigi. Today we're going to be reading another Disney bedtime favorite story from A Treasury of Tales. Our story today is from Lilo and Stitch, called Doggone It, Stitch. Stitch, an alien who lived on Earth, was sitting in the living room waiting for his friend Lilo to come home from school. Just then, Lilo burst into the house carrying a puppy. "Hi, Stitch," Lilo said excitedly. My neighbor, Leilani, asked me to take care of her puppy, Rover, while she visits her grandmother." "Stitch wants to listen to music," Stitch said. "Not now," Lilo answered. "I have to take care of Rover." Stitch watched Lilo make a bed for Rover. He watched her scratch his ears and rub his tummy. Stitch was bored. He wanted Lilo to play with him. "Can we listen to music now?" Stitch asked. "I want to teach Rover some new tricks," Lilo said. She showed the puppy how to roll over. Then she threw him a ball and gave him treats. Lilo taught Rover tricks all afternoon while Stitch watched. Quietly. The dog learned to sit, to beg, and to stay. "Way to go, Rover," Lilo said encouragingly. "You're a good doggy." She patted him on the head. "Music now?" Stitch asked again. "Later," Lilo replied. "Rover's hungry." That evening, Nani, Lilo's older sister, came home from work. She and Lilo watched Rover play tug-of-war with the kitchen rug. "Oh, isn't he cute?" Nani exclaimed. They laughed at everything Rover did. They didn't pay any attention to poor Stitch. Stitch went upstairs. He felt a little sad. "Maybe if I act like a puppy," he thought, "Lilo will play with me." He flopped on the bed and went to sleep. Oops. The next morning, Stitch tried to act like Rover. He hid Lilo's shoes and chewed the kitchen rug, but that only made Lilo angry. "You need a time out," she told Stitch. "Go to our room while I take Rover for a walk." Stitch waited until Lilo and Rover were gone. Then he hurried outside and ran toward town. When Lilo and Rover came home, it was time for Lilo to go to her hula class. Lilo couldn't find Stitch anywhere. She wondered why he wasn't home. Stitch loved dancing the hula. "I guess I'll have to go without him," Lilo thought. Stitch still wasn't home when Lilo returned. Lilo asked Nani and her friend David if they had seen him. Before they could answer, Cobra Bubbles called. He was a social worker that Lilo and Nani knew. "You need to hide Stitch," Cobra told Lilo. "Two scientists from the Center of the Study of Aliens are looking for him. They want to take him to their laboratory." "But I don't know where Stitch is," Lilo exclaimed. "He's gone." "Well, I suggest you find him before the scientists do," Cobra replied. Lilo and Nani hurried to town to look for Stitch. David drove to the beach to search. "Stitch has been acting weird all day," Lilo told Nani. "His badness level was way up. He hid my shoes, he chewed the rug, he acted just like Rover." Suddenly, Lilo knew where Stitch had gone. "Stitch probably thought I liked Rover better because he was a puppy. I bet Stitch went to the animal shelter to watch the puppies." She grabbed Nani's hand and pulled her toward the shelter. When Lilo and Nani arrived, Stitch was there. "Stitch learning to be cute like Puppy," he explained when he saw them, "so Lilo like him again." "Aw." "Stitch, I like you just the way you are," Lilo answered. "Now let's go home." But when they started to leave, they saw the two scientists coming toward them. "Nani," Lilo cried, "we've got to do something." Nani spotted 2 dust mops in the shelter closet. She tied the mops onto Stitch so he looked like a long-haired puppy. Lilo put a leash on Stitch and they walked slowly out of the shelter and past the scientists. The scientist watched Stitch suspiciously. Just then, Cobra Bubbles and David drove up. "Hey, scientist," David called. "We just saw an alien heading out to sea. You'd better hurry if you want to catch it. Hop in and we'll take you there." The scientist jumped into the car and Cobra Bubbles and David sped off. Stitch was safe. Lilo, Nani, and Stitch went home, where Rover was waiting patiently. Stitch went over to the dog and pointed to his paw. "Stitch, show you how to shake your paw," the alien said. Lilo smiled. She was happy Stitch wanted to make friends with Rover, but now it was time for the puppy to go home. A few minutes later, David and Cobra came in. "The scientists are headed out to sea to look for Stitch," Cobra said. "He's safe for now." "And look at what I found at the beach," David said. He lifted a kitten out of a bag and set her on the floor. "I thought she needed a good home," he said. The kitten began to explore the room. After a few minutes, David left to go to work. "How cute," Lilo said. Stitch watched everyone play with the kitten. Then the kitten spotted the alien and ran to him. Stitch scooped her up and gave her a big hug. The kitten was soft and cuddly. She began to purr. Stitch found some string and began to play with the kitten. She darted this way and that, trying to grab the string as Stitch moved it around. Then the alien took the kitten outside. "Stitch teach you tricks now," he said. He taught the kitten to come when he called and to stay in one spot. Lilo watched from the window. "Stitch is really good at having a pet," she said. Nani glanced outside. "Yes, he seems happy," she remarked. After a while, it was time to eat. "Dinner!" Lilo called. Instead of racing to the table as he usually did, Stitch got some food and fed the kitten first. Then he sat down and ate with Lilo and Nani. After dinner, Stitch began to play with the kitten some more, but the kitten had had a long day. She climbed into Stitch's lap and fell asleep. Lilo and Nani went into the kitchen and began frosting a cake that Nani had made earlier. A few minutes later, Stitch made a bed for the kitten. Then he went into the kitchen. "Can Stitch keep the kitten?" he asked. "I think the kitten has already adopted you," Nani replied. "You're her family now." She pointed to the cake. "The frosting reads, 'Ohana Stitch,'" Lilo said, "and you know what that means." Stitch nodded. "Ohana means family, and that means nobody gets left behind." Nani smiled. "Now, let's eat some cake and go to bed. Tomorrow we have to show the kitten her new neighborhood." And that's our story. I hope you liked it. Make sure that you like and subscribe and share with your friends. Bye until next time.